can't do this. I can't do this. I forget to start. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to Orioles Podcast Feud, hosted by Give That Fan a Podcast. This is a Family Feud-style double elimination, trivia-ish off-season tournament featuring your featuring your favorite Orioles podcasts. We appreciate you tuning in to watch the show. You can follow along with us live on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. Audio versions can be found later on Spotify, Apple, pretty much wherever you want. Everything is posted to utahstreetreport.com. I do not own the rights to the upcoming intro music. Please don't yell at me. Enjoy the show. All right. It is, I guess, officially round 3 of Orioles Podcast Feud. Tonight we have Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street going up against Talkin Birdy. It's an elimination matchup. There's a lot on the line. We actually have a substitution tonight. Brad is the third member of Talkin Birdy, filling in for Josh tonight. Brad, how you feeling about this? You excited?
Hey, man, just like Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown, I'm the backup quarterback coming in this week, so just going to put my best foot forward, take it one play at a time, and whatever other cliche can insert from there.
Ryan, you got your cat. Mine, I don't know if I probably can't see her in the screen, but grooming herself. They're on the ground. Ryan, how you feeling about this? It was a tough loss last time out. You ready for revenge?
It was the worst question you could have decided the game on, Ryan. I am still upset at you for that. It's terrible.
It was one of my favorite questions of the tournament, personally.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Well, you don't have to identify any cat guys tonight. Fortunately for you, probably. Jimmy and Connor, you're back for your third time. Third time. How are we feeling going into this one?
If Brad's Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown, that makes us Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So I feel pretty good about that. And I got to say, I mean, our matchup had a little controversy too. Brennan and Paul were not happy about Aaron Judge being included in that answer, but Jimmy saved us right there. So we're going to try to ride the coattails of that answer.
I'm. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Ryan. Oh, me?
I was just going to say,
okay.
I'm still baffled that Aaron Judge made that board and Rafael Devers did not. And it made it even worse that was the night. It was like 2 hours after Devers signed his 9-year extension with the Red Sox. And so he was fresh in everyone's mind. And I mean, good on you, Jimmy, for pulling that one out, because that was pretty clutch.
What was the question? I didn't see this one.
It was a player that could theoretically hit the warehouse in a game. And everybody said lefties, and Paul and Brendan from Masson got all but 2 answers and ran out of strikes. And I was like, Anthony Rizzo maybe, and Jimmy was like, you know what? People will say Aaron Judge. And I was like, people probably will say Aaron Judge. And they did.
There's
I would
shot.
never think Aaron Judge, but like I get why people would say it. It's silly though.
It was one of those like we gotta play the game. We're not playing the truth. We're playing the game.
Yeah.
Which is what I was trying to do with the cat guy thing, but the people that Ryan asked had other ideas.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that one, and the only guy I thought of was Dean Kramer, and I think it's just because of the hair, I figured he was the cat guy.
What is the cat guy
like,
question?
It was a lot of baseball players have dogs. Name a current Oriole or name a 2022 Oriole who seems like a cat guy. I personally think that's a great question.
Now keep in mind, Jimmy, this decided the game.
That
started off. We were 2-2, round 5, and Ryan was like, "Yeah, this one's going to decide the matchup."
I'm
not actually.
I have an explanation for why I'm going to ask this, but was one of the answers Adley Rutschman? Because my girlfriend has recently convinced me that we should get a cat and name it Catley Rutschman.
Okay, yes, you should get a cat and you should name it that.
I tried to do that, and my fiance nixed it. We went with Toast instead. But yeah, no, Adley was actually not on the board, surprisingly, because I don't know. You'd think Adley would be a popular answer because he's one of the first 2022 Orioles who pops into your head, but I guess people don't see him as a cat guy.
He has golden retriever vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
He kind of looks like one, honestly.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Shall we dive in? We've got our bracket up on the board here. I have this current matchup circled. The loser heads home. The winner will survive, live to see another day, and face the winner of Florida Prospect Report versus Section 336, which will be hopefully early next week. I'm working out the scheduling on that one. The Bat Around and Warehouse Pod are sitting pretty at 2-0. One of them will end up down here in the losers bracket at some point. We'll see what happens there. But got our scoreboard for tonight all nice and
So
pretty.
wait, we can still win?
Bunch of zeros on the board. You can still win. You can still win.
Double limb, baby. Double limb.
All right.
So, all right, hang on. I'll go back and explain that. So, the winner of this matchup will be in the championship. And then one team will come out of the losers bracket. So the loser of this matchup will have to play into the championship. So if you come into the final game at 3-1 or 4-1 or whatever it is, and you beat them in the first championship matchup, both teams will then have one loss, and we will have a winner-take-all matchup immediately following that first championship matchup. So it is still possible that you win the tournament.
Very cool.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into the first question. Because this is how you're set up on my board, we're going to have Jimmy and Brad as the first duo to buzz in. So make sure you are ready in our private chat feature. I've gone over the rules a bunch on previous shows, so I'm not going to do that again. It's very similar to Family Feud. We're playing to 250 points or the leader after 5 rounds. And so here we go. This is another one of my favorite questions, by the way. All right, Jimmy and Brad. There are 101 points available in this question. The top 8 answers are on the board. Make sure I have a private chat open. All right. Brad and Jimmy. Fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank. Jimmy.
Being an all-star.
Being an all-star. So, all right, this is a tricky question because I had to group some styles of answers together. Being an all-star is not going to be up on the list. That is technically a strike, but I'm not going to pull it up on the board because that throws off my whole thing. Which means, Brad, if you can give me an answer, your team will get to decide if you'd like to pass or play.
I'll go quintuplets.
Quintuplets. He had 6 kids. That is the top answer on the board. Talkin Birdy, would you guys like to pass or play?
Let's play. Let's do it.
Do it. You can discuss that if you want, but you made your decision.
Let's play it.
So.
No, let's play it. Let's play it. Let's play it.
All right. Ryan, you're up. Fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank.
Number 6.
Number 6 is the number 7 answer with 5 votes. That is very complicated. But in any event, it's on the board.
I gotta say, Ryan, I'm actually amazed that you got 8 different answers for this question.
There's a lot that comes to mind with Melvin Mora, and I think one of the reasons this is one of my favorite questions, not just because of the style of the question, but all the answers, they're good answers, in my opinion. So we'll see if that continues. Brad, we're back up to you. Fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank.
Handshake with Miguel Tejada.
Miguel Tejada, Brian Roberts, his teammates during that time. I lumped them together. The handshake actually was with Brian Roberts, but
okay, yeah, all right.
Still fits the bill for that answer. 3 strikes left still to work with. 5 answers remaining. Ryan, can you give me one of them?
He played third base, so maybe third base.
That's good.
Third base, indeed. 4 answers left.
Thus
Brad, what you got?
My knowledge of Melvin Mora.
That's all you got. Well, we're guaranteed to get back to you, so we'll see what happens.
I know.
Brad, you're up.
The Mike Bordick trade.
That was sorry, I'm going. This is damn. That's going to be strike number 1. The Mets will be seen in honorable mentions. That was the trade that brought Melvin Mora here, but not on the board. Ryan, we're back down to you.
I mean, he hit for pretty decent power, didn't he? No, you know what? No, don't. I just thought of this. He had a really funny batting stance. So his batting stance. That's what I'm going to say.
It's a good guess. but not on the board. I did like his batting stance. It was a good one.
Very.
All right, you're down to your final strike. Brad, fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank.
He hit 340 1 year, so a high batting average.
Nailed that one.
Yeah, nicely done.
340 on the nose. There were some answers about chasing Ichiro for the batting title, being a good hitter for average. So 8 votes for that one there.
Okay.
The board is still yours, Ryan, but you're down to your final strike. Fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank.
Mediocrity, because the Orioles were never really good while he was here.
I'm gonna give you that one. The dark years of the Orioles.
Play this one.
Dark years of the Orioles did indeed make it onto the board. 2 more answers left. Brad, are you able to give me one of them?
Man, I can't even throw out a guess at this point. I don't know, man. I can't even come up with a guess. I'm completely out now.
Let's hit us with this.
Yep.
All right, that's going to be strike 3 then. Over to Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street. There are 91 points on the board, a few points left to be had. Fill in the blank. When I hear the name Melvin Mora, I think about blank.
All right, Jimmy, I got 2 things. Do you have anything?
I have one thing.
Give it to me.
So in addition to playing third base, Melvin Mora also played the outfield.
I like that one. Okay, here's my 2. He did hit a couple walk-off homers in his career. Now, they were never big walk-off homers. I just know he had a couple. And the other thing is, here's the thing I'm thinking probably better answer than that. We can kind of discuss this and the outfield. He hit that home run off the top of the foul pole in left field at Camden Yards.
Oh.
I don't know how many people would remember that because, again, the team was bad. But he literally hit one that landed on top of the pole, which I've never seen. So I kind of like both of those answers.
Which one do you think is most likely? That's
obviously when you think of Melvin Mora and you think position, you're going to go to third base.
Right.
So the fact that third base is on there makes it a little, you think maybe outfield wouldn't be on there. That's obviously a good, because that was early in his career, right? He played some outfield.
It's weird. Like when I think back to Melvin Mora, I think of him more as an outfielder than I do think of him as a third baseman. And I don't know why.
I think it was when he was in his younger days, he did play some outfield.
Probably when he first came over.
So I think
give you guys a few more seconds to lock in on something here.
Obviously, I think if you knew about the home run on top of the pole, I think you would think about it more.
Let's go with that. I think.
You sure?
I think you're onto something there. So let's go with that.
All right. The home run on top of the pole. Let's go.
Home run off the top of the left field foul pole. I remember that vividly. I don't know why, but certainly sticks out in my head.
Was 8?
That's 98 points.
Was 8 the outfield?
We get to keep playing.
So yeah, you can give me another guess if you want to go with outfield.
Then, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, let's go with outfield.
Outfield is not the number 8 answer, so you'll stick with your 98
good
points in the first round.
Go with it.
The number 8 answer is it's another specific event that I personally do not have a recollection of, but apparently enough people did to put it on the board. This, I believe, was against the Yankees. He had a walk-off bunt.
Yes.
And then I'll go ahead and reveal the honorable mentions here. Someone said hitting for the cycle. He never did that. Someone said Gasolina, which was not his walk-up song. But the answer I love the most is the Friday black uniforms. Tell me that when you picture Melvin Mora in your head, he's not wearing that Friday black.
I can't picture him in any other uniform, actually.
And I am in high school, sitting in the left field upper reserve with $6 tickets. Yeah. That's Melvin Mora right there. Yep.
All right, so give me 1 second. This is Brad. If this is the part of the show where I have to stop my share and edit the scoreboard because I don't think there's any type of macro in PowerPoint that allows me to automatically calculate these numbers here. So,
all right,
I run through and do it myself.
For me, Melvin Mora is the number 1 Oriole that deserved to be on the team when they got good again and wasn't. He is probably number 1 Oriole that I'm most upset about was not there when they were good.
I can get behind that.
Brian Roberts is up there too.
He was there though. He was on that 2012 team. He was on the 2013 team. He was injured, but he played. Right. I mean, he was at least in the clubhouse. Like Mora was gone. He was retired.
Right.
Yeah. B-Rob didn't get to play in the playoffs, unfortunately. But no, I mean, Melvin Mora, super nice guy. My dad actually met his kid's nanny at the Fort Lauderdale airport.
Interesting.
Long ago.
Mora lived in the town I grew up in Fallston, Maryland. So his kids were younger, but they went to the same schools that I did and stuff. And he was around, so we would see him.
I'm pretty sure I got an autograph or two from him at FanFest, Rip in Peace FanFest.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He was always happy to sign. He actually sent me something in the mail. My dad exchanged email addresses, I think, because it was like 2004, 2005. He exchanged emails with the nanny. They were like in line for the same plane, boarding next to each other. And he actually sent me a signed Orioles wallet, which was pretty cool.
Nice. Was there money in it?
There was not any money in it, no. But it was addressed to me, which was pretty nice. All right, so the board as it stands now, 98 points to Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street to start off the game. Still a lot of game left, still a lot of points available. We're going to move on to question number 2, which will be between Connor and Ryan. So make sure you are prepared. There are 97 points available for this question. The top 8 answers are on the board. Name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over. Connor.
They are losing by 1 million.
Losing by 1 million. Ryan McKenna is on the mound. That's the number 3 answer. Ryan, if you can give me one of the top 2, then your team will have a chance to pass or play.
They're winning by a lot.
That is not on the board.
Why would you tease me like that?
I'm sorry. Not on the board. Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street. Would you guys like to pass this one or play?
What do you think,
I
Connor?
think we could play this one, Jimmy.
I think we should play it.
Okay, let's play it.
All right, Jimmy, we are over to you. Name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over.
I'm going to say too many fans from the other team.
Too many fans from the other team. That's going to be strike number 1. Connor, back to you.
Bad weather. It's raining or it's cold.
That is the number 1 answer. I personally, when it's raining, I like to stick around just because the vibes at Camden Yards after a rain delay are always immaculate, no matter what's happening in the game.
As long as you have an inkling they're going to start playing again.
Right. If the forecast is bad for the next 4 hours, I'm probably going home. But if I can wait it out for like an hour and a half, I'm all in. I'm staying.
Can anyone here say they were at the Sun opener?
I was 2004 or something versus Cleveland.
I think it was 3. I think it was 3.
Yeah, Jay Gibbons lost a fly ball in the snow for inside the park home run. That's when they finally decided to delay it.
My dad and I were the last seats in the stadium. We had blankets behind us on the chain link fence to block the wind.
Nice.
Oh, that's smart. That's really smart. I was not at that game, but I do remember getting home and watching it on the TV and watching Gibbons lose that fly ball. All right, Jimmy, we're back up to you. Name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over.
Beat the traffic.
Sorry, my cat's trying to climb out the window. Beat the traffic, catch the light rail. They kind of go hand in hand. That is the number 4 answer. 5 answers left, 2 strikes left to work with. Connor, name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over.
You're Rob Manfred, and the game is taking too long.
This is tough. I should have determined how I'm going to include this. I don't think that's close enough to fit the board. I'm sorry, Jimmy. We're going back up to you.
Can I ask
1 strike left? Yeah.
Can I? If I do this, if it gets back to me, can I answer an amended answer of that and hope that it's on the board?
Yes.
Okay.
You can. Jimmy, name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over.
You want to go hit up Pickles.
There you go. Last call at the stadium. You want to go drink some more at Pickles? That's the number 7 answer. Connor, back to you. Are you going to amend your previous answer or try something new?
See, I'm scared that it won't be enough of an amendment, but is the answer? Because I felt like that was a good answer, and I felt like that might have been number 2. My answer was you need to be somewhere or it's past your bedtime. Is that enough of an amended answer?
I'll give you that
one. Okay.
It's too late. You have an early morning. I didn't give you the first one because it could be, a day game that's taking 5 hours, and it's, I think I was looking for a little more specificity in like it's past my bedtime. So I'm glad you said it that way. So I'll give you that one. There are still 3 answers left. Jimmy, name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over.
I'm gonna say you were bad and you were forcibly removed.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer. That's a
great answer.
Thank you.
It's on the board. 2 people got kicked out of the stadium. Connor, we're back to you. There are 2 answers left on the board, number 2 and number 6. If you can give me one of them, you're safe for now. If not, Talkin Birdy will have a chance to steal.
The only reason I feel like the number 2 answer would have been one of these things on here. It's surprising that reason why you might leave early. Maybe you just came for the giveaway and you grabbed it and you hit the road.
I like that answer, but not on the board. 2 left to work with. Brad and Ryan, you may discuss amongst yourselves. Name a reason why you might leave an Orioles game before it's over for a chance to steal.
You got anything coming to your head, Brad?
Extra innings might be one of them. I mean, it might fall into the same category as the too late thing, but it's more specific.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but yeah, it is. I was also thinking like you're not feeling well. Maybe you're drunk or feeling sick.
Yeah. All right, what do you want to go with first? I'd say extra innings, I guess.
Well, we only have one chance, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
We gotta.
You want to go with extra innings? I mean, if you feel really good about the drunk thing, we can go with that too.
I mean, not specifically drunk, just like if you're not feeling well, like you're sick. I think that you're sick. You're not feeling well. That's our
final answer.
That's our answer. Yep.
All right. This one, it's on the board. Emergency only. I did get a few responses for illness or family member going to the hospital, things like that. I lumped those together. So I didn't put personally feeling sick on there, but I did include that in the count. So that is going to apply to that answer. A bunch of people said they would never leave unless it was an emergency, which not really what I asked, but
yeah,
we talk about integrity of the poll, same thing with the Aaron Judge thing. So I'm going to give that one to you guys. There is still one answer left if you'd like to rack up more points, but as of now, that is 93 coming your way.
Let's try your extra innings answer then, Brad.
Yeah, extra innings.
Extra innings.
Extra innings is not on the board. 93 points to Talkin Birdy for round 2. The number 6 answer, the people you're with.
Oh, man. Yeah. I that shit.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
They're your ride.
Yeah.
Got to tag along with them. I never like that. I try not to go to games with people who I don't think will want to stay the whole time.
Right.
And then honorable mentions. Travis Lakins is warming up the bullpen. Scarlett Johansson is awaiting me at my house.
Can you disclose who said that?
I can't see who said it.
Okay.
I actually want to know more who said Travis Lakins is warming up.
Someone with a serious vendetta against Travis Lakins, that's for sure.
If you were the person who responded and said Travis Lakins is warming up, throw us a comment.
Yeah, please. Both of them, actually. I want to hear from you.
Or send us a tweet if you're watching this later.
Yep. Or if you're watching right now, tweet right now.
Or if you're watching right now, yeah, absolutely. I can't promise that I'll see it because I have a lot going on, but if I do see it, I'll pull it up onto the screen. All right. Give me a second here to edit the scoreboard.
I'm not mad that the feeling sick was correct because I think you should put it within that category. I'm mad that many people are like, "I would never leave a game." That's not the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so edgy, bro. Cool.
Right.
I'm a diehard.
Yeah.
It's like I think it was Talkin Birdy. I did a question that was like, name something you'd ask an Orioles player to sign for you, and I had a couple people responded like, I don't get autographs. I was like, all right, well, if you did, like, that's what I'm asking.
I'm honestly surprised, Connor, that you
ours.
got the giveaway and then you left was not
Me
an answer.
too, because
you walk
you
in those
see
giveaway
people-
games and
so many
everyone's
people
walking
do
the opposite way.
Yep. Yeah, you're walking down the
So many.
bridge between M&T and Camden, and you see 20 people walking the other way with the Hawaiian shirt or something.
But
I
I
guess
feel like
nobody wanted to
the problem
admit.
there is I feel like the people who do that are not Orioles fans who I would have reached out to in this poll. I think they're more,
or they don't want to
make a
admit
quick
that
buck
they do
on
it.
eBay. That's true. I have done that one time in my life because I think it was like a bobblehead I really wanted, but I had like plans I could not break. So I did do that once, but
I don't.
Thank you for forgiving me. Ryan, it's cool. I get it. I wouldn't forgive myself either. All right, we're going to move on. It's a close game, 98-93. We're going to move on to question number 3. This is going to be, once again, for Jimmy and Brad, so make sure you are ready.
Okay.
Question 3. There are 97 points available. The top 7 answers are on the board. Name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game. Jimmy.
Jorge Lopez.
Jorge Lopez coming in at number 2, which means, Brad, if you can give me number 1, your team gets to decide.
Number 1. I had another one in mind, but I'm not sure he's going to be number 1. So I'll go further back and I'll say Randy Myers.
A good guess, but not on the board. EuPod Street, Locked On Orioles, Jimmy and Connor, would you guys like to pass or play?
How are you feeling about this, Connor? Because I have like 1 or 2 others in my head, but that's about
I don't
it.
think I have 7, but I would like to play.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's play.
Right.
Hey, you know what? It's the fun of the game. All right, Connor, we are coming to you. Name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game.
Brad Brock.
Brad Brock on the board at number 5. Still 3 strikes left to go. Jimmy, name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game.
Darren O'Day.
Darren O'Day was an All-Star. Connor, we're back to you. See if you can keep it going.
George Sherrill.
Sorry, I lost my mouse. Oh, flat brim himself. Acquired in the Adam Jones, Eric Bedard trade. A very underappreciated piece of that deal, but glad he came along. Jimmy, we're back to you. There are 3 answers left. You still have 3 strikes to work with. Let's see if you can keep the momentum going. Name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game.
Zach Britton.
Got to be number 1. Yeah, I was going to say.
I was surprised that one took so long, honestly.
I actually had that answer in my head. I was just kind of saving it for the end, just in case we got strikes. Because like I knew both of us knew Zach Britton.
Dude, I couldn't believe no one said it. I was just Googling Zach Britton All-Star. I was like, did he not make an All-Star game?
It literally just came to me right before that answer. I was just like, no.
I think he also, when he made it as an Oriole, I don't think he ever actually pitched, which was the saddest thing because that was like when he was in his prime. He was without a doubt the best closer in baseball at that time.
So like in the wild card
game?
Yeah.
Kind of like the wild card game.
Great pitcher, but never on the big stage. All right, I think we are back to Connor. Name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game. 2 of them left.
Trying to think if the bad teams had relievers that went. BJ Ryan ever go to one?
Are you?
I'm phrasing my answer as a question, but that's my answer. Yeah.
BJ Ryan did indeed go to an All-Star game. 1 answer left. If you can get it, you sweep the board. You still have all 3 strikes, so you can throw out some crazy answers if you want. But for 97 points, Jimmy, we're back up to you. Name a relief pitcher who has represented the Orioles at an All-Star game.
I am going to guess Jim Johnson.
Did we just take the board with no strikes? Let's go.
Not bad for a team that didn't seem confident in their decision to play. I respect it. Was that my audio that just got weird?
I heard it too.
I heard it too.
All right, I don't know. I think we're cool now. Must have been. I think it was something with me. All right.
Connor
anyway,
muted himself, so he's incriminating himself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nicely done. That is 97 points. I'm very impressed. Connor, you said you had a couple answers. Jimmy, you said you had a couple. To pull 7 out without getting a strike is quite impressive. Very nicely done. Honorable mentions: Greg Olson, Randy Myers did get mentioned once, and then Tippy Martinez also made an All-Star game, but not quite enough to be on the board.
Did Chris Ray ever make an All-Star game?
No, but he makes beer now.
Nice.
I think he's still doing that. He was after he retired, he was a brewer for a little while. I don't.
How could he have been a brewer if he retired?
Well played. Good question. Current slide. Present. Share screen. Share system audio. Screen 2. Booyah.
I was
all right.
Too excited for sweeping the board. I hit my mic and now it won't reconnect. So
I can hear you fine. Your audio is okay.
Yeah, I'm on computer audio right now, so hopefully that's okay.
Yeah, no, I hear you fine as long as there's not a bunch of feedback coming through. You're good. All right, 195 for Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street, 93 points for Talkin Birdy, which means Talkin Birdy, you guys need to run the table from here on out. It's certainly possible, but we'll see how it goes. Connor and Ryan, the next question is up to you. There are 99 points available. The top 8 answers are on the board. Connor and Ryan. Fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved Ryan.
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado coming in at number 2. Connor, if you can give me the number 1 answer. I guess I don't really need to finish reading the question. I stopped because Ryan buzzed in, but I was already at the blank anyway. Connor, fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
Jake Arrieta?
Jake Arrieta comes in at the number 3 answer, which means Talkin Birdy, you guys get to decide if you'd like to pass or play this one.
What do you think? Because I think I know what number 1 should be.
Yeah, we'll take it. We have to. We got to run the table here, so we got to give ourselves a fighting chance here. So yeah, we're playing,
or at least get enough that the other team can't steal. All right, so you're gonna play, which means Brad, we are up to you. Fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
Curt Schilling.
Put a different name, but it's the same trade.
Yeah, right.
Glenn Davis, Curt Schilling, Steve Finley, and there was one other guy in there. I can't remember who it was. But in any event, that is the number 1 answer. Still 3 strikes left to work with. 82 points on the board already. Ryan, fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
Zach Britton.
That one did not make it onto the board.
That was one of the worst. Okay.
Dylan Tate erasure.
It came back bad. But yeah, Dylan Tate has ended up being all right. Didn't look great at the time. Corbin Carroll. Not Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll.
Would have been nice if we got Corbin Carroll. That would have been sick.
Cody Carroll and someone else.
Josh Rogers, who got TJ and then got released.
Yeah. And then for some reason was really good for the Nats for like 5 starts.
It was smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. All right. 1 strike, 2 left to work with. Brad, fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
Oh man, I'm totally drawing a blank right now. How much time? How much time till my time runs out?
I haven't been strict about it, but if I can see that you're struggling, I'll tell you like 5 more seconds.
All right. Yeah, I mean, at first the Eric Bedard came to mind. Then I realized we got Adam Jones back, and that's definitely not one of them. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm fucked.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give you strike 2 then. Ryan, back to you to stay alive. Fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved whom?
Oh boy.
Fill in the whom.
Boy. The whom. This is actually got really tough really fast, man. Shoot. I can think of some good ones. I'm having trouble thinking of bad ones. I don't know.
This is,
you know what? Okay,
I'm
gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna play the board and say Trey Mancini because people lost their minds.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
people did lose their minds.
I know.
Jury's still out on that one. We'll see what the return is like. Seth Johnson, who had Tommy John surgery.
I don't think it is.
And
okay.
Chase McDermott, who we'll see. Brad, we are back to you. One strike left to work with. To stay alive, fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
Okay, well then I guess I'll just do the same thing and say Jorge Lopez because people were pissed off about that, and I can't think of anything else.
Jorge Lopez, strike number 3, which means Jimmy and Connor for a chance to steal the board and win the game. Fill in the blank. The worst trade in Orioles history is the one that involved blank.
All right, Connor, I got one in mind.
Jimmy,
how many do you have in mind?
I wish we had this question. I've got a laundry list right now of like more recent ones that people would be mad about. All right, so give me your one first. Let me see if it's on my list.
And I'm only saying this because I don't remember what we got back in return, but Jonathan Scope.
Okay, so that was on my list because I think anything at the 2018 deadline should be on the list. So Scope and Gaussman, I think, would both potentially be on the list just because the Orioles basically got nothing from those trades. I got Bruce Zimmerman from Gaussman, but after his finish to this season, I don't think people would see that as good. However, I have a couple that maybe spark a little bit more emotion from people.
Okay.
So Mike Yastrzemski, that trade gets people really riled up. Remember, they traded him for a nothing pitcher, and he was good in San Francisco for a few years. And he's still in the majors. And then the other ones I brought up, I thought were that Gerardo Parra trade was a disaster, although Zach Davies isn't really good either. And then 2 more, just to keep it to this year, we did trade for Brett Phillips, and people hated that guy. And
for
then the other
cash,
one,
right? It was cash
with good reason.
Yeah, and then the other one would be because he was a fan favorite and the pitcher we got back was terrible, was Hyun-Soo Kim for Jeremy Hellickson. I think people really don't like that trade. Now we basically have to just think which one are people thinking about the most and hating.
I would say the ones with the bigger names. Honestly.
That's fair, but my gut says Mike Yastrzemski because people were pissed about that trade for a long time because he immediately broke out in San Francisco like that season.
All right,
we were the terrible 2019 Orioles.
If you feel that strongly about it, I say we go for it.
I think it's either Yastrzemski or maybe Kim or Phillips, just because Phillips being recent. Although,
you know what? I'm feeling Phillips.
But my only drawback there is that Jorge Lopez wasn't on here.
That's true.
Because
I think people forget that we traded for Phillips
because he feels like a waiver
off waivers or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll let you guys go on a bit. I need an answer soon.
Do you feel good with Yastrzemski? I mean, people were pissed when he was really good.
You know what? Let's go for it.
Mike Yastrzemski.
Mike Yastrzemski is incorrect. A great answer. Did get a couple of votes, but not enough to make it onto the board. And Connor, I have to say, you're not going to like seeing how the rest of the board plays out.
Did I name the other 4?
Well, 86 points, I'll say first, are going over to Talkin Birdy, which means we will have a round 5 winner take all. I'm going to start with number 8, Hyun-Soo Kim for Jeremy Hellickson. Coming in at number 7, the Zach Davies for Gerardo Parra trade.
Stop clicking. Stop the count.
Number 6, Jonathan Scope.
Stop the count.
Do you think, based on this, do you think you know what number 4 is now?
Kevin Gaussman.
Oh, that's a tough scene.
Oh my god!
I have to say that played out beautifully. I'm sorry, Connor.
We can't hear you, Connor. I think you got to talk into your headphone mic.
But people were so much more pissed about Yastrzemski. I'm so surprised it's not on there.
I think you're confusing a small amount of people's large rage about it to a large amount of people being mad about it.
Yeah. Yastrzemski was one of those deals where he was never going to work out here. I mean, maybe he was if we'd given him a shot, but he was like a 4-year AAA player, it seemed.
That was weird. I mean, he was very average in our farm system. He wasn't very.
No, he wasn't. He was eligible for the Rule 5 draft 3 times, and no one took him, and then we traded him.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, I like the way you were thinking. I would have liked to see Yastrzemski on this board, but in my honorable mention, I'm so glad only one person voted for this trade because it was actually a very good trade. Eduardo Rodriguez for Andrew Miller. People are inexplicably upset about that. Miller was absolutely dominant for us
your
in that playoff
fandom
stretch.
if you think that's a bad
He was
trade.
great for the playoff run.
And because people would see Eduardo Rodriguez throw like 1 or 2 good starts against the Orioles and not realize that he's actually been very average for most of his career.
Very average.
Never been like any kind of a stud or anything. So who cares?
Connor, you okay over there?
By the way,
can we get like 1 pity point for running the board with the answers we didn't select? Just 1, like 1 point.
Bonus points.
Even if we lose at the end, just give us 1 extra point in the 5th round.
We'll see how the rest of the matchup plays out. I will say if you are the one person who, so we asked earlier if you're the person who voted for what were we talking about earlier?
It was what reasons to leave the game early.
I'm down so incredibly bad.
It was the Scarlett Johansson answer and the
Oh, right. So if you're the person who said Travis Lakins is warming up, let us know. And also, if you're the person who voted for the Andrew Miller for Eduardo Rodriguez trade, let me know so that we can publicly shame you.
Yes.
Show yourself, coward.
All right. So we're going to have a round 5. As the score stands now, Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street lead 195 to 179. But really, that just means whoever wins this last round is going to win the game. And so, with that being said, facing elimination, no pressure at all. We're back to Jimmy and Brad to buzz in.
Go be red.
Question 5. There are 88 points available. The top 8 answers are on the board. Name a current Orioles pitching prospect. Jimmy.
Grayson Rodriguez.
Grayson Rodriguez, the number 1 answer. There are 7 left. If you think you can name them all, let me know. You guys get to decide. Would you like to pass or play?
Jimmy, how do you feel about this?
After G-Rod and 1 or 2 other names, I start to draw blanks because I start to think of position players as our top prospects, honestly.
So the only thing I'll say is I believe I watched their first round, and I believe I remember Ryan just rattling off prospects like nobody's business.
I was going to say they go to a lot of
and I'm afraid that
games and stuff.
If we give it up, they're going to run the board and send us home.
That's true. That's probably true.
I can name 8 pitching prospects. I just don't know if it'll be the 8 that are on there.
I don't even know if I can name 8, and that's a shame on me.
All right. I'll leave the bigger names open for you, and I'll try to get some obscure ones early, but let's play.
Okay. That's fair.
All right. Going to play. I like that strategy. Connor, we're down to you. Name a current Orioles pitching prospect.
Let's go with Noah Denoyer. The man literally got put on the 40-man roster.
Digging a little deeper for that one. Not a name that a lot of people think of.
He's on the 40-man roster. I am revoking privileges of the survey from the people you gave it to.
You also have to remember, I ran this poll a couple months ago in preparation for the tournament, and I believe that was before 40-man roster decisions were announced.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Jimmy, we are back to you. Name a current Orioles pitching prospect.
D.L. Hall.
D.L. Hall comes in at number 2. I think those are the obvious top 2 answers. There's still 6 left, 2 strikes to work with. Connor, you're up.
Carter Baumler.
Sorry, I don't know where this audio issue is coming from.
All right.
Carter Baumler, strike 2. Jimmy, back to you.
It's Connor. It's Tops when he mutes his mic.
Is it Connor?
I think so.
It must be.
It might be the sound of like my brain frying as I think.
So yeah, Connor, if you don't mind, just unmute yourself when you're up. Jimmy, all you.
Cody Sedlock.
Cody Sedlock, incorrect. Was designated for assignment near the end of last year. No longer in the system, unfortunately. After being, I think it was he a first round pick? I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he was.
Well, that means Talkin Birdy, you guys have a chance to gain the lead and the win if you can name a current Orioles pitching prospect.
All right, Brad. I know you and me have no problems naming Orioles pitching prospects, but we got to go with who we think people.
Okay. All right. So am I first?
Well, we got to come up with one answer because we're trying to steal the
Oh,
votes.
people have to know Drew Rom, right?
I was thinking Rom.
I feel like he's got to be number 3. Yeah. Okay. Let's go Rom.
Yeah, let's go Rom.
All right.
For the win, Drew Rom coming in with 10 votes. Friend of the pod, friend of Talkin.
Friend of the pod, dude. He is the coolest guy.
Oh, yeah. He's the man.
He is really cool.
Would you, so I guess the congratulations are in order. That is the game. Would you guys like to rack up some more points and try to name a few more?
Yes.
Can I ask you guys,
what you got?
Please run the board so I feel better about playing. Because I had a feeling you guys could easily run the board.
It's harder when I'm on the spot and there hasn't been any games lately, but
yeah.
See, I would say Seth Johnson, but he hasn't pitched for us yet. He's one of our key acquisitions.
What about Zach Peak?
Zach Peak.
Is he an answer?
Yeah.
Zach Peak coming in with 6 votes.
Kyle Bernovich was a decent trade acquisition, but he was out like all of last season because of Tommy John. So he probably won't be on there. Chase McDermott, we just got. He probably won't be on there. You guys already said Carter. No, you guys didn't actually answer Carter Ballmer. You were just talking about
No, Connor did. Connor said it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And he's not on there.
I can't believe Baumler wasn't on there, honestly.
I figure a 5th-round pick might get people going. Nope.
Maybe.
A fun name, but hasn't been on the mound much. So not a guy that people have been thinking of lately.
Yeah.
I
mean, even I'm running out of names now. Because like you said, Brad, there haven't been any games, so like the names aren't like running through your head.
Yeah. Plus, okay. Bauman was on the team most of last year, so he's not a prospect anymore. Well, all right, I'll give it a shot. Seth Johnson. Okay, he is.
Seth Johnson is on the board. You want to keep going?
Kyle Bernovich.
Bernovich is incorrect, which means your points stop at 63. Still enough to win. Congratulations, Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street. Unfortunately, your time on the feud is up. We'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to reveal the remaining answers. This one surprised me. No love for the reigning Jim Palmer
Watson,
minor league pitcher of the year.
That was literally, if it got back to me, I figured like if Jimmy got Drew Rom, if he didn't, I would and got somebody else, I would have done Drew Rom. But if he did, I was going to go Ryan Watson, and I was going to be upset again.
Honestly, Denoyer was a really good answer. There's no reason.
I get that he did it. The poll, maybe he wasn't thinking about that, but like after you go Hall and Rodriguez, you're thinking I would think Rom and Denoyer because they both got put on the 40-man.
Yeah.
And then Denoyer was in the fall league too, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then you'd think Watson because he was the pitcher of the year, and then Johnson. I'm sure McDermott's probably on here.
Yeah, Chase McDermott probably.
And Cade Povich is probably on here.
Oh, Povich. Yeah.
Cade Povich is on the board.
I knew there was McDermott's not.
Armbruster potentially is on here.
I'm kind of surprised he's on there.
And where were
these when it was your turn, Connor? Come on,
Carlos Tavera?
Not Carlos Tavera. I know everyone knows this name.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He surveyed the entire On the Verge pod for that one.
All right. Well,
Jimmy, I just figured that like those names that I just said might be on there, but I figured Denoyer, Watson, Baumler were bigger names.
Hey man, we tried hard, we played hard, and that's all we can ask.
I mean, I'm not even close to as mad about this question as I am about the last one. I mean, I literally rattled off the entire board and we lost.
You sounded so sure.
Oh
yeah, that's rough.
Oh, I didn't put the 63 in. Whatever, I'll do that later. But I did add up the 63 into the final score. Talkin Birdy advances. Locked On Orioles, EuPod Street. Your time is up. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you being part of this. I know it wasn't the easiest thing having to match up a couple solo podcasts, but I'm thrilled that both of you were able to participate. I've asked my my eliminated teams this, and I'll ask you both as well. I'll start with Jimmy. If you could describe your experience on Orioles podcast Feud in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
I would say fun, challenging, and heartbreaking.
Those are fair. Those are solid words. Connor, what about you? 3 words to describe your time here.
Goddamn Yastrzemski. That's my 3 words.
Well done. Well done indeed.
Unbelievable.
I know. Look, I've talked about this, and it's a word I keep coming back to, maintaining the integrity of the poll. If I had built these questions and answers myself and tried to imagine what I would think a Family Feud board would look like, Yastrzemski would have been included, but the voters did not agree.
Yeah.
I think overall, though, the responses have been pretty solid, but there are certainly a few.
I'm not as mad about Yastrzemski itself. I'm mad that me and Jimmy combined to rattle off all the other answers, and then we chose the one that I rattled off that wasn't on the board.
Yeah. A shocking development. I was convinced you were going to go with Gausman from the jump, and then you talked yourself out of it. But I'm glad you both enjoyed your time here. It's been a blast. Other team, Talkin Birdy, Ryan and Brad. Brad, you came through and helped your team as your first appearance on the tournament. Do you think you're going to give your spot back to Josh for the next round, or is this your game now?
That's the decision. It's up to coach. I'm just here to fulfill my role, and whatever happens, happens. Hopefully everything's good with my boy Josh. But if it's my turn to step in next week, I'll be ready to
go. I can answer that. Josh can consider himself unemployed.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see Ryan and Brad again next time. I might allow, if you make it to the finals or something, I'll probably do something special. I might allow a celeb shot of some sort, phone a friend. I don't know. We'll see. But if this is it, if this is the end of the road for Josh, I'm glad he was here. But Brad, I'm thrilled to have you as well. Talkin Birdy advances past Locked On Orioles and EuPod Street. Thank you to my participants for being a part of this. Thank you to Derek and Tony at Utah Street Report for hosting the podcast. And we will see you next time on Orioles Podcast Feud, hosted by Give That Fan a Podcast.
Good game, guys.